Dom, I thought I would send this while I know you're busy and before we eventually catch up for a chat. It's a little bit about who we are. So, what we focus on is agile coaching, consulting, and training. We also do agile leadership, and our approach to change is a little bit different from most who do the big bang approaches. So, our work is viral change, and that is based on Peter Senge and Leandro Herrero's work, but it's actually also one of the guys, Neil, his experience working in big organizations. So the viral approach is just getting one team working well or two teams working well, and the influencers in those teams are the ones who then start selling a message to their other colleagues, which helps build momentum. So that's our main USP. We will work usually with everyone from the C-suite all the way down to, if we need to, the facilities managers. All we need is a blessing from one of the C-suite to sort of ring fence a team, and then we use sort of consistent sort of frameworks to get that viral approach supported and sustained over time. And then obviously we account manage that. Our model has got sort of three basic elements in terms of implementation. The first is it's very behavioral focused, so it's very focused around human beings because they're the doers of the doing, whereas a lot of agile stuff is about systems and processes, and then it doesn't seem to deliver what people hope for, and it's because they're just getting compliance by the people, they're not really getting true buy-in. We take an emergent change approach, so you're constantly iterating based on what you learn as you develop the first couple of teams and as word spreads. And then we describe ourselves more as catalysts for change. So our role is not to be in the organization for 5 years. It's to get the seed of change firmly established and let that grow long after we've gone and continue long after we've gone. This slide is more about sort of our core focus, but one of the main things I just wanted to sort of draw attention to is our two-pronged approach. So although we get change happening at the coalface, it's also really important that you get at least some traction with the senior leadership team, because often their habits of, I'm sure you've seen this as well, kind of old school command and control leadership can undo the good work you're doing on the ground. So we use a lot of science, positive psychology, neuroscience, social and behavioral psychology, informatics, and that kind of stuff to explain why leaders need to change how they lead. So we're basically using science as our proof that this needs to happen. And then our approach is probably not dissimilar in terms of how we get stuff done to organizations. It's just what we focus on is very different. So, stage one, we obtain some kind of insight. We do have a survey that looks across the board and not just what's happening from a process perspective, but also a people's perspective. But often clients just want a bum on the ground. So we'll still observe initially without jumping in first and see what's going on. From that, you usually get 3 or 4 key priorities, and we will only focus on the top priority with a first targeted intervention, something simple that will work quite quickly to get traction with the team and get traction with the client. And then we iterate, inspect, and adapt from there. And so that's our process. Simple interventions, get them working, see what you've learned, move on to the next one, and so on and so forth. As I said earlier, the model's got 3 elements: the behaviors, the people side, the frameworks and approaches, which is what most agile consultancies focus on, and then the third one for us is measures. It's really important that all of us are able to demonstrate progress towards some kind of goal, and that measurement is important not just for the team to feel like they're making progress. It's also important if you need to report upwards to show progress. We do take a value stream approach wherever we can. Some clients it's really just too difficult, but that's the ideal world. And then the rest of the slides are basically a series of frameworks that we've applied for different clients depending on their context. So whether the challenges are product backlog problems, or problems getting increments released on time, upstream planning this was for a payment organization, governance issues for a financial organization, or just delivering stuff. This is for a charity. We've got different models that we've used, but they still have the same fundamental underpinnings of behaviors first. The people piece is incredibly important, that there is some kind of intervention in terms of a process, and that it's all measurable. Okay, so the last couple of slides are some of the clients that the chaps have worked with and are worked in. Some of our training products, so we're certified in a number of products, but soon, hopefully by April, we'll be adding a certified agile leadership course, which I'm in the process of doing with Matt, and we'll be sending that off for certification towards the end of this month, so that'll be added. And then finally a little bit about the three of us. We do use additional people that we trust, but this is the core team: myself, Matt, and Neil. All right, my friend, hopefully that's useful, and speak to you fairly soon. Take care.